But now we're talking about point number 14. Know when and how to ask for the order.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this notable quotable from you, and I'd like you just to unpack this thing. Just unload here. One is learn to recognize buying signals, how to ask differently with different people, when to let the customer sell himself, how to negotiate details, and when to walk away. If you don't ask, you don't get. But how you ask often determines success or failure.
Yep.
Go for it, my friend.
One of the things that I said in there is know when to allow the customer to sell himself or herself. Years ago, Fred Herman, who was a sales trainer, was on the Mike Douglas show, which was a talk show like Oprah's. Yeah. And the screener said, so, Mr. Herman, you're a sales expert? Yeah? No. Sell me something. And he said, what do you want to buy? I don't know. Sell me something. Well, what? That ashtray. So there's this ashtray on the table. And he said, why would you want to buy that ashtray? And the screener said, it's an ashtray. People need ashtrays because everybody smoked back in those days. And he said, well, what do you like about that ashtray? Well, it's color coordinated. It goes with the decor in here. It's large enough to accommodate several cigarettes, but not so big it becomes an obnoxious mess. And it's a decent ashtray. It looks durable. Okay, what do you think that's worth? I don't know. Well, seriously, if you had to put a monetary value on it, what do you think it would draw? I don't know, $20. So then I guess I'll let you buy it. And the screener said, you just sold me that ashtray. He said, no, I didn't. I let you buy it. Oh, well, you really are an expert, aren't you? Sometimes you don't have to sell people. You don't have to say, hey, I got this ashtray. Right. Need an ashtray? Ashtray, we got your ashtray right here. Here's an ashtray. Not only is it big enough, but it goes with the room. Yeah. You start doing all that, and the person's going, yeah, but I don't want to buy an ashtray. Right. But all he did was says, what do you want to buy? Really? Why that? What do you like about that? What else do you like about that? What do you think it's worth? Okay, I'll give it to you.
I say this because I want to make sure that the Thrivers I want to make sure that there's examples that you can really handle here. In real estate, I know that I, years ago, did commercial real estate projects for Maurice Canbar, the guy who invented Sky Vodka. Mm-hmm. And I remember meeting the guy, and at the end of our presentation, we weren't even done yet. And he goes, guys, sometimes you just need to know when to quit talking and to ask for the sale.
Thank heavens he was generous enough to tell you that. Because some people just get irritated and buy from someone else. So,
and in that case, I felt thankful that he was that, because he's a kind, generous guy. I was glad that he did that. Yeah. But for the other times, that doesn't happen. I mean, so let's go back to my young DJ career. Yeah. And I'm sitting here meeting with the bride and the groom, and I'm listing off just a machine gun of benefits.
Sure. You're talking.
Yeah. How do you know when to go for the close?
Buying signals. Okay. That's the thing. See, here's a buying signal. Anything a person does or says that indicates a change in their mindset. Anything a person does or says that indicates a change in their mindset from considering a purchase to owning the product. Here's the difference. I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this proposal you're making for doing my wedding, right? Yeah. And as long as I'm kind of leaning back and listening and sort of hiding my body language, to not tell you too much about where I'm at, and being skeptical and saying, yeah, well, how much does that cost? Really? What can you really rely on? Do your people know what kind of music my people are dancing to, that they like to hear? Well, do you guys show up on time? The ads on radio about the smell good plumbers. Did your guys not stink? Okay. Well, and so I got all these defensive things I'm afraid of. Yeah. Well, when I get to the point where I think, this is a pretty good deal, then what's going to happen is that'll occur in my head first, and then it'll start showing up in my body. And I'll start kind of leaning forward, and I'll sort of soften, my facial expression, and I'll lean in and I'll say, "Hey, do you guys have the song Pretty Woman? Can you, and now what I'm doing is collaborating with you to create what we're buying, right? Instead of what you're selling, I'm collaborating with you as the buyer to help you create what I want to buy."
Makes sense.
So I'm leaning forward, and my body posture has indicated I'm no longer considering purchasing. I figure, okay, I'm in, now let's make it right.